It went beyond that. She replied, "Okay, now I just want to talk to you because you just wanted an Emmy for the city of Atlanta. And this isn't Atlanta. And they just want to hear about the Emmy and hear from you and to thank you for what you did to put the city on prior to my entering. And we won't talk about your kids. We will not talk about jail or cases. We're not going to talk about that." And immediately goes in, going the other way. "You cannot betray me because you are a bad comedy. I will ruin you. And I will never mention your name. You look like me. And I will never say anything hurtful to you. I am who I am. The line is really thin. I received a call. That being said, this woman is trying to make me appear silly in front of admirers who are mostly gay. Consequently, she was cancelled. The LGBT community does not appreciate that you would call me gay in such a derogatory manner. It does not appear to be demeaning to LGBT people. Why are you making an effort to make me feel ashamed of this group when I don't even belong there? No gay person has ever visited or told me I belong there. It's ridiculous that most of us will only think of Wanda Smith because of her infamous procession with Katt Williams. Even after the news of her death came, people kept talking about how terrible her rivalry with Katt was and how her career looked to take a plunge after all. But Katt Williams apparently didn't want to let it go either. He continues to think that the whole thing was a massive setup because Wanda has a history of harassing visitors and even approached him before the interview began, then, at the danger of his life. She sent her husband and her son after him since he proved to be a fantastic comedian. All bets are off after that, child. Furthermore, he shows no regret for what happened or how it came back to haunt her. "It wasn't until later that I discovered what she had done to my fellow comedians. So you either believe in karma or you don't. The only thing I know is that it was a setup. And remember the same weekend, they tried to kill me on tape, pointing a real gun in my face, not as a joke. You understand? I'm losing my life because of something I'm involved in at work." It was like two comedians. You say what? As such, most people now remember gagging when Katt Williams dragged Wanda Smith across the floor on her own radio, as was previously said. Display the floor and how she progressively faded out of sight. Before that, however, Wanda had a lot going for her. If you grew up in Atlanta in the 1990s and early 2000s, you most likely heard Wanda on the radio a few times during the course of that time. She was a co-host of the show Frank and Wanda in the Morning, the well-known television programs. Def Comedy Jam and Bet's Comic View were among the other endeavors Wanda dabbled in. Furthermore, she debuted as an actress in movies like Medea's Witness Protection and Media Goes to Jail. One of the hosts of the Frank and Wanda morning show was Wanda. She regularly conducted guest interviews and occasionally asked comedians to join the show. Nothing could have prepared anyone for what would happen on that fateful day when Katt Williams came. But believe me, lady,
telling us about what's going on in jail.
Yes, ma'am, ain't getting out to tell you. But I'm going to tell you at an arena named Phillips, and you going to tell me at the Atlanta Comedy Theater.
That's right, true.
Tomorrow, be there.
All right.
Red Grant show, I know
Red
I'll
Grant.
be there. Don't miss it.
Red Grant, Katt Williams, thank y'all for coming through, man.
And thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming in.
I see why people come to Wanda's show.
Yeah.
Because Frank Ski puts it down.
That's right. Get on out of here with your crazy ass.
Uh-huh. Is he crazy?
And hurry up and get to the salon. All right, it's the People Station Viewer 3. Your hair is kind of...
That joint was.
My hair is 19 inches long, and I have no perm.
You don't?
Oops.
Oh, that's not a perm.
No, it is not. Nice lady.
That's natural?
Come run one of your gnarled fingers.
Come here.
While you on air,
come
so
on.
they can hear you live.
funny that Katt wasn't scheduled to be on the show that day. Due to his lack of transportation, he was just at the studio to drop off Red Grant, a buddy who had an interview that day. In fact, Red Grant recalled that Wanda spotted both of them when they came, but she just went to embrace him without even welcoming or embracing Katt Williams. She spoke to him just once, asking if he would be interested in doing the show. Katt refused, saying he had no real intention of appearing on the show and was just there to help his friend. But when Wanda begged him to come on the show and expressed how much they wanted to interview him, he complied. Wanda and Frank also agreed, shortly before the interview began, that they would not ask Katt about his children or the accusations he faced. All they would discuss were the positive things he was doing. Things start to get complicated at this point. Katt Williams didn't just lose her temper and start yelling. Red Grant says, "Then Wanda came. Suddenly, as Katt sat down to prepare for the interview and put on his headphones, Wanda mentioned his kids. Katt got up and left the room after she started talking about them and making little jokes at him. However, Katt's entourage was able to defuse the issue and get her back into the room so the interview could begin. However, as they began rolling, it appeared that Wanda had altered once more. After that, she started asking Katt about his children. It's clear that Wanda didn't give Katt any chance to adjust to the interview before interrupting him, as though she had been anticipating a confrontation. She attacked his hair, clothes, and blood pressure, doing all she could to make him behave. Strangely, Wanda gave everything she had, but the baby Katt returned it all and more.
What is it made out of here?
If you can't get your blood pressure down, you can't call me down.
Whatever, little mama.
If your cholesterol is 600,
Whatever, little mama.
I'm little mama's baby daddy.
No, you little mama.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, girl.
And what are you, girl? You probably shouldn't talk about sizes.
No, that's okay.
You big on the radio.
That's right. And you're big
Turn
in
it
prison.
down.
And you're
Yes,
big in
ma'am.
prison.
I've never been to prison.
You have
19
several
felonies,
times.
no conviction.
Katt continued to run and go even after Wanda had run out of fuel. The question that arose at that moment was, why did she even believe she could defeat Katt Williams? To exacerbate the situation, Wanda's co-host Frank was laughing unrepentantly and offered no assistance to support Wanda. And he got even more aggressive when Wanda attempted to go below the belt by bringing up Katt's legal issues. Furthermore, nothing Wanda uttered could counter all of Katt's insults against her.
No, $12.
No. That all is available. If you want to have Wanda's jewelry, please go to Citgo or Quick Trip at any point. If you buy 2 packs of Newport 100s, they will give you everything Wanda has on right now for $7.99, and it comes with a free car wash. Won't you come on down?
Yes.
When the interview finally made its way to social media,
Immediately after it was shared on social media, the interview garnered millions of views. Wanda's subsequent interviews further failed because no one was moving past that. Wanda even made an attempt at self-defense at one point, claiming that Katt was the one who had attacked her, but no one took her seriously, and they weren't even on her side.
Like, why you didn't go back? Because I know my mouth. I could have said some really ugly, foul things, but I didn't want to talk to him like that. I did not. It was a respect thing.
Live radio broadcasts made it hard to interrupt any of the conversation. The fact that everyone could see how much she continued to taunt him until he decided to use his words, wit, and deft comic timing to get her off him made it impossible for Wanda to convince anyone that Katt had said anything bad about her. These kinds of occurrences ultimately happen when two comedians compete against each other, and the better one wins every time. But nobody understood how resentful Wanda was of the whole situation until she had both her husband and her son pull up on Katt as he was on his way to the Atlanta Comedy Theater to support his friend's child. A big man followed Katt all the way to the food depot before turning back to the scene, and Katt escaped for his life when her husband, Lamora Sirs, pointed a gun at him. The situation was really humiliating. Getting your spouse and son to threaten his life because you couldn't take a joke you began was a far different matter than losing your own radio show. Now, that is just incredibly foolish and awkward. Due to Wanda's decision, what should have been a contentious argument between two comedians became a highly publicized incident. You had no idea how many people were criticizing her. Wanda didn't just remain silent or apologize for what she said and did. Instead, she went into full defense mode. Wanda accused her co-host Frank of failing to interrupt the interview and V103 of uploading it. In fact, she accused Katt of approaching her and making fun of her.
I felt the tension, like, every time I would ask him something or say something, it was like he kind of came for me. And I'm not that kind of comedian. Like, I don't go tit for tat. I don't, that's not what I do. Nick Cannon asked me to go to Wild 'N Out. I'm like, dude, that's not my thing. I mean, so just because of the respect that I have for him, when he started coming at me, it kind of threw me off. So I didn't know how to retaliate or how to come back because that's not how I wanted to talk to him. I didn't want to talk to him like that. I didn't want to go back and forth with him because of the respect. So when it kept going on and on and on, as a person that has integrity, I had to say something back, and I didn't want to.
However, Wanda's actions appeared to be the final nail in the coffin. Since she was mostly backed by her core fan base, Wanda struggled to obtain gigs months after she and V103 broke up. Wanda Smith and Katt Williams' feud was never completely resolved. Even after she went away, it was still cited as one of the most memorable moments in her career. Since what Wanda did at that specific moment was completely incorrect, Katt Williams completely agrees with them. You guys, if the cameras hadn't captured them and he hadn't had good judgment, things may have gone horribly wrong for him. That is for advocating for himself.
A very interesting thing happens when you try to trap something that's bigger than your trap. So imagine you set out a trap for a turtle and a rhinoceros steps into it. It's finna be a whole different situation now.
I also understood that my intention is not to offend black women with short hair. I'm not saying that heavy-set ladies are unworthy. My intention is not to upset other comedians. That's not what I'm trying to accomplish. I can't either, since I am aware that you lack the necessary knowledge to understand the meaning of the word. I am smart enough to know that I must say that you have gnarled fingers. Nevertheless, I am capable of eviscerating you without doing any of that. You can't respond to it. For that reason, I'm going to keep beating you up even though you don't understand, because that's what comedians do. The mistake is that you have also been feigning to be a comedian. As a result, boxers never fight against heavier opponents. Her refusal to take responsibility for what had happened also made it hard for them to ever agree again. Furthermore, the internet is encouraging he was all the way up because the least Wanda could have done was acknowledge that she was a major contributor to what happened. The video of Katt Williams spying on Wanda Smith is the one I watch anytime I want to feel the worst kind of secondhand humiliation. Katt prepared for Wanda. She earned it. It wasn't improper in the narrative. Many people are unaware that Wanda Smith is a comic in addition to Katt Williams. Her lack of understanding of comedians' humor is not the point. Her most recent grade was a failing one. But what are your thoughts on the whole matter? Is it fair to feel sorry for Wanda Smith due to the challenges she encountered in her later years at work? Please remember to like and subscribe and share your thoughts in the comments section, as I'll see you in the next video.